Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and welcome to the Gems of War Invasion stream, week 26, day 4. And of course, happy Thanksgiving everyone. Hope all of you have been having a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I am definitely extremely stuffed right now and feel like taking a nap. Actually didn't earlier and now I'm kind of tired. Probably should have. But anyways, yeah, today we're mostly just going to be messing around with, doing a bit of token grind, since obviously we don't have any kind of class event or anything like that. Doing our dailies, doing the token grind, and hopefully getting another lucky Nisha. And since it is a holiday, we will have one super mega ultra secret code. And yeah, we'll have a decent amount of resources in that. Salty did not give me any more codes though, so this will be the last code we'll be giving out for probably this week, for the most part. Also, it is the 28th, so we do get a random orb if you're logged in every day. And hopefully we have a good one. What do we have? No, it is useless. We got a random green. Well, of course, it's different for every single person, but I got unlucky. At least it broke our orange streak, if nothing else, so not exactly sure if I want a minor green over an orange. I'm not sure. Both are equally useless to me. But hope you've all been enjoying the holiday. Hello, William. Hello, Morashi. Hello, Isabel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone else. I'm pretty sure our viewer count will be a bunch lower since everyone's doing holiday stuff for a lot of people. Though, by this time, some people, or quite a few people, might have already finished up everything and just be chilling for the night. That or watching the game. Isn't some kind of sports game on normally right now? I know some people do that. I never watch sports, so that's not something I do. But I know it's like some people's tradition to like watch sports after eating. Also, there's a lot of really good deals out this year. I'm picking up so many things for the channel over the next few days. Well, I say over the next few days. It probably won't be here for another week or two. One of them's not even in stock, but I'm ordering it now. Is because the sale price will still be when you order, even though you don't get it till later. Also, I ended up getting Sims 4 for my mom, and it is ultra cheap on Origin right now. It's like $5. Of course, they still charge like excessively high prices for all the expansions, but the base game itself is only $5. I'm almost considering it, getting it for myself. I still have yet to play Sims 4, and I know Sims 5 is probably coming next year, but I don't know, we might try it. Because I haven't played a Sims game in, gosh, what, 8 years? I want to say 8 years. It's been a while. Yeah, she's been really enjoying it. I set up her computer and The Sims today. And other than eating, I don't think she's done anything today other than play Sims while watching TV, which is funny. And she has like a whole week off too, so she's pretty much just going to be playing Sims the entire time, which is kind of funny. Because her job is normally dead this time of year. Which is kind of funny because my job normally makes more money this time of year, just because ad revenue generally makes it a little bit more in November and December, just because more advertisers are competing for those slots. It's still way less than normal though, but it's still more than like traditionally throughout the year how much you would end up making then, and then it completely falls off in January and February, which are the two lowest months in the year. Because all the companies are renegotiating contracts and there's no big holidays around that time. So not as much advertising. Meh, football. Yeah, is football on tonight? I would assume so. I don't really follow football. At most, I watch the Super Bowl and that's it. That's how much I'm into football. The Super Bowl was pretty underwhelming last time, though. Both ad and the game. Because the game was like a really slow pace defensive, and the ads were, I don't know, it just didn't seem that good this last year. Hey, you were sure there was a sale on that on Xbox? Oh, there's actually some places by me. I don't think I'm going to bother because it's physical copy only. But you can get Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey for $30 each. Though I might pick up Breath of the Wild digital version. I believe the digital version is $42 digital download. And I generally prefer getting the digitals just because I feel like I would end up losing the physical just because of how small they are. Because they're like microscopic if you've ever seen like the discs, or even if you even call them discs, like little wafer things that you get for Switch. They're so ridiculously small. The only two I have it for is Ring Fit Adventure because there is no digital version of it. And Mario Party, whatever the Mario Party Deluxe or whatever it's called, Super Mario Party, whatever one the Switch one was. And the only reason I got that is because I have every physical copy of every Mario Party ever released, except for the Wii U versions. Though I probably should get my hands on the Wii U versions just to have a full collection. because it's one of my favorite series of all times. The most recent one's pretty underwhelming, the one for Switch. They haven't done a single update to it or DLC or anything to help fix it. It was rather average when it launched. I'll take that for now. Grab the gold. Oh yeah, the Steam Pet's $5 as well. Oh, also, yeah, two things. The Steam Pet, if you want to get it, is actually only $5 right now. So definitely go and consider it. I don't believe the Android one's on sale. Unless they just did it recently. Though this might desync my thing. Hold up, I should probably finish this battle before I go click it. But I didn't see the same sale on the Android one. If they did, I would totally do it. But I don't know if they're just not allowed to do a sale like that or what. But I didn't see one. Maybe they're waiting for Friday before they do it. But that's kind of weird because the Steam one already has it. But other than that, Puzzle Quest, if you have a Nintendo Switch, or you're going to be getting a Nintendo Switch in the very, very near future. Well, I don't know how long the sale's going on for. But, oh, what's it called? Puzzle Quest. Puzzle Quest on Switch, the new HD remake of Puzzle Quest, is 50% off right now. It's digital only, though. They haven't made a physical copy of it yet. Nor will they be, most likely. They did have the first one. I'm not sure if they will have the sequel. Probably not. But that's 50% off, so definitely a great pickup if you haven't already gotten it earlier. It was basically like the original really good Match 3 game that they made. It's like the closest thing to Gems of War that isn't Gems of War. Let me go double check. I don't think they've done a sale on the pet yet. Let me see. Shop. Let's see. Specials. Nope, it's still $50. But the Android pet on sale. If the Android pet went down to like $5 or $10, I would totally get it. I'm just not paying 50 for it. There's no way I'm paying 50 for it just for completion's sake. Okay, anyways. Let's go and farm now. Of course, we are still trying to get those Nishas. We did get one the other day off of really nice luck. We are currently in a position where we need 5 more Nisha tokens, and with 5 more Nisha tokens, we will have 3 medals of Nisha, and with 3 medals of Nisha, that will bring us at the max capacity global medal bonus that we could possibly do, meaning that we could do every possible combination, because you only need 1 medal of Anu. You never need more than that, simply because they do not stack. So once you have 3 of every medal and 1 medal of Anu, you have the max amount of bonuses that you can ever get, and you can just use them in various combinations depending on what your team specifically needs. Also, did I just run that with Key Team instead of Scorpius? That's a fail if I did. Yeah, I hope they do it by Friday or something. I'm not sure if they're just not allowed to or what, but yeah, the Android one's not on sale, but the Steam one is, for whatever reason. Does Steam Pet count for Kingdom leveling? Yes. The pet that you get from that pack does count for Kingdom leveling. However, Adana doesn't currently have a faction. So even though it technically does count for Kingdom leveling, by the time you would ever actually need a second pet for the Kingdom, you'll be able to get it off a faction. However, if you're not at a point within the game where you don't feel like you'll be able to do a pure faction for Adana at 2,500, you might want to consider it a pet. Because there is a point if you're deciding not to do the 2,500 faction for whenever the Adana faction comes around. You could bypass that by just getting that pet for $5. Also, you get a bunch of red pet food too. That's why we have like an absurd amount of red pet food right now. I think it gives you like 135 red pet food or something. Where'd it go? You can only ever buy it once, so don't try multi-buying it. This thing. But yeah, if we go to our pet food, you can see we have 195. I believe 135 of that was from this pack or something. But yeah, it gives you a lot of red. You're not going to run out of red. Obviously, I haven't leveled him just because he's cosmetic and there's no direct need to at the moment. But yeah, gives a lot of pet food. And it counts as a Adana pet, which is why I mentioned that. Adana is getting a delve in the nearest future. I believe it's like 3 or 4 delves from now, yeah. Because the next delve is going to be for Stormheim. Then it's going to be for, oh, I remembered what it was, now I completely forget. It was Stormheim, then, wow, I completely forget now. And I don't have the link open. Fail. I know next one's Stormheim. Why do I completely forget? We were just talking about it the other day. Does it come as Mythic? It gives you enough copies to Mythic it. and it gives you enough food to mythic it. However, you most likely use the food for other pets just because it's cosmetic, and it'd be better doing on non-cosmetics. Also, there's no point where, or currently Adana does not need 2 pets yet, as far as the level 20 is concerned. So you don't need to worry about that anytime soon. It's going to be anywhere from like 3 to 5 months before Adana gets a faction. And it is until that point when you would actually need it. And even then you wouldn't technically need it, because if you're planning on doing pure faction for Adana, you would have it off the pet. But if you don't do pure faction off of Adana and you still want to have a high star level, buying that $5 pack would be the way to get around it. It's definitely not mandatory though. Yeah, it's best to go and upgrade all the ones that have a skill bonus first, as far as your red food, or with all food in general, pet food. You should always go and upgrade the pets that actually give you a bonus. The only time when you divert to cosmetic pets is if and only if they will help you get a star level. But in every other instance, you should just be putting your foods into pets that actually give you a bonus. Even if it's a relatively low, useless bonus, like let's say a Divinian Fields bonus, Kingdom bonus. Like obviously you're almost never going to use that. However, it's still more of a bonus than no bonus at all. So you would still want to prioritize those prior to doing anything else. And the only exception to that is if upgrading a cosmetic pet would specifically give you a Kingdom Star, in which case obviously it's worth upgrading that cosmetic pet then. We'll go and get that down. Though most cosmetic pets you can never get to Mythic anyways. Very rarely can you. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the only Mythic cosmetic pets in the game. Is the Steam pet that you can buy and the Android pet that you can buy. I think there might be a few others, but those might be the only 2. That and Xbox version of the same thing. Because now that I think of it, there never has been a cosmetic pet other than those that has ever been realistically mythicable. They still have been, because technically you could during the holiday things. However, it would cost like 2,000 to 3,000 gems, and obviously most people aren't going to do that. But yeah, realistically mythicable, they were like the only ones. But even then, I guess they're not realistically mythicable because they cost so much money. But when they're on sale for only $5, then yeah, that's probably worth it. Like $5 isn't that bad for it. 50 is though, which is why I didn't bother about getting it. And won't be getting the Android one unless it specifically does lower in price. And I hope it does, because it's the only pet we're missing in the entire game, is the Android pet. For 100% completion's sake. Let's see, we'll take that, grab the other thing. And we just go mount and go from there. I really wish we would get more better cosmetics in this game, though. Cosmetics seem to sell really bad for them. Every single time they've tried doing cosmetics. That's why the thing is like 90% off. They've had a really big issue with actually monetizing cosmetics in this game. Like, even when the game first started, for any of you who started, like, literally 5 years ago, for the first month of the game, armors actually had no bonus whatsoever attached to them. They were simply purely cosmetic things that you could wear and dress up your hero with, and that was it. But then after, like, a month, they added bonus to them, and the amount that they ended up selling, like, gem-wise, and people actually purchasing them, ended up increasing by, like, 10 times, if not more. Like, probably even more than that. Maybe even like 20, 30 times. They never gave data on it. But it was like a noticeably gigantic increase. But they've always been really bad at selling things that were like pure cosmetic for this game. I feel like they could do good with it if they did it in some way with like specifically for ways to improve cards, like visually. Like maybe some kind of animation background or something. Or even just like, not necessarily selling pets, but selling ways more so to customize the pets you already have. That you can apply to any of your pets or something like that. I don't know, every single attempt they've done so far has flopped pretty hard. Like, for example, the Dwarf and Lapina. Those things you could buy that I think cost $10. Not sure if they're currently on sale or not in-game. But those things are, they never sell well. I have both of them just because I wanted them for the sake of having them. But they're not really that worth it. And a lot of people don't get them. Hello, Khan. Welcome. But I'm still trying to figure out what games I might be picking up. I don't know, what games are on sale that you guys found interesting? I haven't actually even checked Steam yet. So far, the biggest two that I might is Sims 4, just because I want to try it before Sims 5, just to see what the new mechanics in Sim 4 were compared to Sims 3. And it's only $5 right now. So I'll probably be picking up Sims 4 and definitely Breath of the Wild. I have actually not played Breath of the Wild yet. I'll probably stream the whole thing and see how that is. And I don't know. I'm not really sure what else I might be picking up. Still trying to find a cheaper version of Octopath Travelers, specifically on the Switch version, but I'd prefer not to get the physical, and I don't think the digital's on sale. I haven't even been paying attention to Steam sales for the last year and a half. Actually, I haven't really been doing much on Steam the last, like, 2 years. The only two things I've really done on the last 2 years on Steam is, oh, a few things, is Puzzle Quest, back before it was released on Switch, Darkest Dungeon, and, obviously, Gems of War. Like, I haven't really touched Steam much other than for those things. But I bought a lot of, like, useless games in the past on Steam. Like, when they were on sale and then never bothered playing them. Version 4.7 should be out in about the next 2 weeks or so. No official date has been given. But, it should be before the holidays. Because if it doesn't come before the holidays, it's going to have to be pushed back by a lot. So they generally try to get it out before the holidays. But, yeah, the next update should be by, like, the second week of November, most likely. No official date has been given. It shouldn't be any later than about the 20th. Could be as early as the first week of next month, but it's not that likely. It's most likely on the second week and no later than the third week. But again, no official date yet. Soon TM. Wait. I need to go pull Salty. We got the Soon TM running again. The Soon TM! There we go. Also, there's a website that makes custom overlays. I might be getting them. They're currently 60% off. Haven't really had the time to browse them that much, but yeah, I'm probably going to do that. Though I still have a bunch of money in Fiverr's ecosystem that I need to go spend too. Might need to look to see if they are running any deals over there for Black Friday. Could you answer you in writing because you have speak English, you want to Google Translate? Sorry, what was your question? Let's see. Oh, yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. There we go. What class could you level up with a Gob Truffle team? You're nearly got Plague Lord to 100. Which version of the Truffle team are you using? You can level up pretty much any hero class you want, particularly if it has a half mana start, but even without it, it's fine. The two most useful hero classes, though, or three. Any hero class that has Storm Tree, because the elemental bonus, assuming it's... Oh, never mind. That's only relevant if it's actually 100, so never mind. You can't do that. But the most relevant ones would be any of them that have a half mana start, either naturally or getting it from a perk, or any hero class that has Dispel. Those are the two main things you would want to look for. Also, I guess you could technically use any hero class that also has Greenstorm. Would be somewhat beneficial. But the main two would be any with half mana start and any with Dispel. Would work very well with a Truffle team. Might not be good as using something like a Titan or Warden, but it would still get the job done and would level your class up. Yeah, the update is expected to come prior to the holidays. And I believe the cutoff date is around the 20th? I forget the exact cutoff date. So they're likely planning on getting it out before then. So far, I believe every single year except one, they've gotten out an update prior to the holidays. Or, you know, prior to Christmas and all that. Because if they don't get it up by then, I think the earliest they could do it is like midway through January. Oh, never mind. I thought I left him an extra turn. Oh, I did. I thought I left him a green extra turn. Apparently not. It was a brown extra turn. Either way, it doesn't matter much, though. He would use the mana either way. And he's dead. Also, I just realized, we still have invasions to do. Why am I doing this? Or did we already? Hold up. Let me check the guild. Oops, not the guild. I meant guild wars. I mean invasions. I'll get it right eventually. Oh yeah, we already claimed them all. Nice. Never mind. We don't have to do any. But let's go claim our rewards. See if we get anything good from these orbs. So we got 3 minors and a major. Come on, not orange, not green. Good, good. Aw. Close. It came very close. Hopefully it'll make up for it with a purple or blue here. Come on. No! Double purple, double orange. Rip. At least we got some purple. At least got something that wasn't useless. So we have a lot of orbs. I actually haven't used a single orb ever on this account as far as purple orbs are concerned. We've used some of every other orb, but I've actually never used a single purple orb. And I likely won't until my seals reach 0. Even once we get new Guardian troops, I still won't be. What am I looking for? I'm looking for how many orbs I have. Let's see. What's the total amount of these orbs we have? We currently have 142 small purples and 39 major purples. That is a lot of purple. Hold up. Let me go bring up a calculator. What does the math come out to that on? So we got 300 times 142, and that comes out to 42,600. 42,600, 42,600, 42,600 plus 42,600. That is 101,100 seals, which comes out to divide that by 20, which comes out to 5,055 keys. That is a lot of guild keys. That's enough to get about 5 mythics. That's how many just that amount of seals is. Not even counting our other stack. This stack over here. Not even counting that stack. Just our orbs alone is enough for 5 mythics. And if you count that, that's like about 6 mythics. And that's about 1 mythic. Possibly 2. Between the 2 of them, that should be about 2 mythics. And yeah, what's our count then? So that's, I said 5, 6, it's 11. About another 2. We have about enough to get 13 mythics just off of keys that we currently own. And then we also have enough to craft 13 with diamonds. Actually, more than 13 at this point. We have enough to craft 14, because if we convert all of our diamonds to jewels, that's another 5,000. Gosh, that number's starting to get big. We really have 500,000 on the dot? Oh no, 500,400. Pretty much 500,000 on the dot. Actually, if I didn't do my things today, we probably would have. But, nice. Yeah, we have enough to craft 26 mythics approximately. Between all of that. Sorry, not 26. 27 mythics, I mean. Because that's 14 there. Yeah, we have enough to craft 27 mythics. So they could, like, stop all currency from being accumulated, except for maybe gold. And we'd be fine for 27 months, for the most part. Which is kind of funny. We have that much of an excess of resources, currently. Or with my luck, it's 10 mythics. We'll see. I don't know, we got really lucky last mythic. I pulled it within 50, right? We pulled it within 50, and then we also got a Ketris the other week within 100 event keys. Obviously, I wasn't trying to get a mythic then, but we've been pretty decent mythic luck lately. Though, of course, it only takes one excessively unlucky mythic to ruin that. But all those numbers were assuming at drop rate. It was not assuming good or bad luck, just at the approximate normal drop rate. Though the diamonds we don't have to worry about. That's just pure crafts. That's 14 of them. And that's has a 100% chance. Like, there's no like percent chance related to those in any way. Which is actually something that we were able to get past. Originally, any of you who might remember when dungeons first came into the game, or when they were going to come into the game about two and a half years ago, whenever it was. I actually forget at this point. But when dungeons first came into the game, they were going to have it so it gives you a random amount of diamonds. So for example, let's say like the first day could give you 10 diamonds, but it would only be like a 50% chance or something. And the big issue with that is that it was starting to give, or it seemed like it was going to give people like way too ununiform of a way of getting diamonds. And they ended up changing it after like a week to make it a lot less random. So now diamonds are extremely consistent because almost every method in which you accumulate them, other than vault events, are completely static in that you will get the same amount like every single week. and there's no variation with it, which was a nice change to it that luckily they implemented. No problem, Bonnie. And if anyone else has any other questions, let me know. Also, I think we'll have the super ultra mega code after we hit the next chest. I'm actually out of codes, but this is one of the secret ones. Our backup stash that we only use for special occasions. And hopefully Salty will give me more codes soon. But I don't think she'll get to it until Monday, unfortunately. So we might not have codes for the next 3 days. Which would be quite unfortunate. I don't know, maybe we'll have one tomorrow, but only one. Not sure which stream we'd do it on. Just for a Black Friday thing, I guess. I'm not really supposed to be using them that often, but for special occasions we can. Like today being Thanksgiving. Ah, we got nothing good there. Oh well, it's the Yasmin upgraded. But anyways, let me go give out the mega code. I actually can't go claim it myself because I accidentally claimed it for myself a while back. But there's the code. There you guys go. Let me know if it works because I actually can't check it because I accidentally claimed it in the past. But because that was one of the days where I accidentally gave that code when I meant to give a normal code. I didn't actually post it publicly though, but I actually have claimed it already. But you guys haven't, so it should still be active. Let me know if it is. Accidentally. It was definitely accidentally. We are in no need of 25 gems. Like 25 gems is helpful, but it's obviously has very minimal impact on our 25,000 plus gem stack. Also, I'm not spending any gems on the event tomorrow, even though we have a 25,000 gem stack. I'm finding hero classes to be increasingly pointless to bother doing, especially with how weak some of them have been. If they were to finally go and add another really good hero class, like a Titan level, Frost Mage level, Plague Lord level kind of hero class, then yes, I'll probably spend some gems on it again, like 1,000, 2,000 or so. However, a lot of the hero classes they've been releasing recently have been excessively bad. Like really, really, really bad. And the one coming out tomorrow is no difference. It's pretty much just a Warlord. Just Warlord slightly different. That's all it is. So if you already have a Warlord upgraded, you really have no need for this new thing. Also, there's instances where Warlord might just be stronger than it too. I do believe this will be slightly better than Warlord in that there's more teams you can use this in compared to Warlord. Like, Warlord might be stronger overall, like in those specific teams that it can be used in. However, the new class coming out tomorrow does have a slightly larger variety as far as the team range that it can be used for. The biggest thing holding Warlord back is the fact that it counts as Titan when, it counts as Giant when there's something like Titan hero class in the game. And while this new hero class coming out tomorrow does have an overlapping typing, it counts as Dwarf. The Dwarf hero class is not that bad. Not that good, the other one. So this could potentially be like a offset for that. Because unlike with the Giant, where Titan is just superior to that of Warlord, this other hero class is not necessarily like worse or better than the other typing variant. So you'd kind of have a choice depending on what kind of team you want to run. If you want to go do Dwarven Slayer, or not Dwarven Slayer, Dwarven, whatever the Dwarven hero class is called. I forget its name now. But the other Dwarven hero class. Okay, I need to go look that up now. Why can I not remember it? Fail. But you kind of have to like choose if you want like more of a tankiness with the Dispel, or if you want something a little bit more offensive with the high skull damage that's coming out tomorrow with it. Rune Priest was the one I was referring to. But yeah, it's going to be the second Dwarf hero class. This is obviously the first, and the other one will be coming out tomorrow. But in this case, it's kind of like an either-or, because they're both similarly useful, just in different situations. Whereas when you compare something like Titan compared to Warlord, it's like Titan every single time, because Titan just is the superior Giant option. Not to mention it has half mana start for Giants attached to it. One interesting thing about this is this will be a double typing where you could 50% either of them. So Rune Priest can get 50%, and the new hero class coming out tomorrow of the Slayer will have a 50% start as well, assuming you can use King Stonehammer with it. Because King Stonehammer, of course, is the thing that gives dwarves half mana start. But yeah, it's Rune Priest. As it seems like a weird name for him, because he's not really a priest in any real technical sense. Like, he doesn't have any heal. He's not even excessively tanky, other than the fact he gains barrier on Brown, which I guess does make him pretty tanky, but still, a lot of things have that. Yes, you can synergize Stonehammer Burn with the Slayer Hero class. That is correct. I'm not sure if you would want to, but you can. Your team would probably be Slayer, Stonehammer, something, maybe like an Apothecary, and King, wow, why do I keep forgetting his name? King Stonehammer. And that would end up being your team composition if you were to go down that route, like a 4x Dwarf Slayer team. It'd be interesting to see how it pans out. And that's probably one of the teams I'll mention tomorrow, too. I'll be mentioning some that don't use a Mythic, obviously, though. Though 2 of them would obviously use a Mythic. Obviously, if you want to use a full Dwarf team, you would need the Stonehammer. And if you want to go do a fire-based team where you're just doing Skull Spam, you're probably going to want it in a Furnace. And then do extra turn Skull Spam to get your burn. Because that would auto-burn for you. I meant Highforge, yeah. There's 2 different things. Highforge and Stonehammer. Stonehammer's the Mythic that is extremely tanky and has 4x burn and 4x stun. Highforge is the one that has half mana start to all dwarves. I just mixed their names there for a moment. My bad. But yeah, Stonehammer's the one that's the tank that burns. And Highforge is the one that has half mana start to dwarves. Ooh, and Anu. I thought that was Anisha for a second. It's getting really hopeful. But Anu's still good. Just not as good as Anisha. Well, we'll continue the hunt. You very, very, very rarely ever use Stonehammer in first slot, which is rather ironic given his 80% score reduction. But the main reason for that is he blocks too much mana for what his ability does. And the fact that if you miss his mana generation, you almost auto-lose with him. And it's relatively easy to miss his mana generation. Is War any good? He's usable. He's not particularly good, but at your level range, yeah, that should be fine. The main synergy troop I don't think you have at the moment, though. The main thing that you tend to synergize with a War is a... Oh, what's it called? I'll get the name right. Queen Jezebel. Queen Jezebel is the main thing that you end up synergizing with it normally. But I'm pretty sure you don't have that as an option. Your next best thing is to go, if you have a Leprechaun, put a Leprechaun on your team, and then feed it mana. So maybe go something along the lines of like a Mountain Crusher, Apothecary, War, and Leprechaun, and just go all in on War, and just kind of keep spamming him. He is pretty beneficial when you can end up constantly getting kills, so possibly doing an attack buff with Stargazer or something that could directly attack buff it could also end up working out decently. But this is the best synergy troop for it if you happen to ever get your hands on it or see it in Soulforge. It's Queen Jezebel. It deals damage to the first enemy equal to the ally's attack, and then gives them a bunch of additional attack and armor, with the attack being the more noteworthy thing, and it gives a little bit of mana to your entire team. It also has synergy in that they're both... oh, wait, never mind. They're not both humans. I was going to say, I thought this was a night bonus for a second. Never mind. But it does still have the attack value damage, which is the main thing that you need for War. Because War, once he finally gets fully traded, can start gaining attack per turn, and he's very dependent on having a high attack. And Queen Jezebel just works as one of the better synergies for doing that, since she can utilize its attack for damage, as well as War utilizing his attack for damage off his own ability. And the higher attack will allow both of them to be able to hit harder with... every single one of their abilities. But yeah, doing that with some mana generation tends to be one of the better builds for War. War is a rather underwhelming Mythic, but you're in how early in the game you are, it should be very, very powerful. Though it will fall off probably once you start reaching like 1,000 plus. But until that point, he should be a really good asset for you. Because that's really lucky to get it that early. Because he's only really useful in the early game, which is kind of funny. Though he's really hard to get in the early game, but you managed to get him. The main thing that makes him viable is the fact he extra turns when he gets a kill. Do be wary that you generally don't put him in first slot, though. Second slot normally works pretty well. But biggest issue with him in first slot is he has a really low HP and armor value, and he can normally die pretty easily. However, if he is your strongest option, given that he is a Mythic, Once you get him to level 20 by leveling him, he'll probably be fine for first slot for now. Yeah, the 4 Horsemen, when they came out, were actually really, really cool. Like, conceptually wise, even mechanically wise, all of them were pretty solid. Like, War, when he first came out, was a solid Mythic, though he was the only Mythic in the game, because he was the first Mythic ever added, actually. Fun fact, when Mythics first came in, he was the very first one. All 4 Horsemen were, but War was this particular first one. Def, due to how good Def Mark was at the time, was a really good option. Plague was pretty good in that it was the best stat-reducing troop at the time. It was also one of the only ways to really disease at the time. However, now, of course, there's much better ways. And the other one was Famine, which at one point was the most broken troop in the entire game for almost a year, actually. In the current state of the game, it's rather average. It's still a good Mythic, but it's nowhere near what it used to be, that's for sure. It got nerfed like 3 times, 2 times directly, 1 time indirectly. What basically happened with the troop is it initially had too high of a mana for what it did. They then lowered the mana and then doubled the damage for whatever reason. Like, all they had to do was lower the mana, but for whatever reason, they also decided to double the damage. And then he was super overpowered when he had a 20 mana cost and double the amount of damage, 2 times multiplier, based on how much he drained. Then he was indirectly nerfed when... or actually, what happened first is he ends up getting nerfed back up to a 24 mana cost, which is kind of ironic because he was nerfed down from it. But he was eventually brought back to a 24 mana cost. And then after that, immune to mana drain came into the game. And after that, he was completely dead. Because once immune to mana drain came in, and you could actually counter it just by having, you know, immune to mana drain, then that made him a lot more useless, since his whole mechanic is, of course, dependent on draining the enemy's mana. And not being able to do that makes him rather useless. Of course, there are still plenty of teams that get ran these days that do not have the capability to have immune to mana drain. However, there are a lot of instances that do. Okay, we'll throw that down. But yeah, Famine has really cool art, too. It was fun when he was actually meta. Well, it wasn't fun dealing with him. It was fun seeing him, because he does have one of the slightly better arts in the game. As far as how creative and everything it looks. Now we just got to see 1 billion leprechauns. I'm surprised after an entire year they haven't nerfed Leprechaun. Leprechaun has not been changed since he was released last December. He was released, I think, the first week of last year's December, so he's been out for almost a year now. And he hasn't been nerfed or buffed in any way. Well, obviously they wouldn't buff him, but he hasn't been nerfed in any way, which I'm finding kind of surprising. Because he has made a lot of troops useless, being able to have a mass explosion on first turn. He makes almost every other exploding troop useless, which is kind of funny. Between Mountain Crusher, which has half mana start on such a low mana cost, and Leprechaun literally starting with full mana, there is almost no other mana generator that can compete other than Converters. But as far as like explosion-based mana generators that don't have any other mechanic other than primarily exploding, these two in combination, or even just in any team, even if you don't use both of them, has basically made every other option obsolete. It's because of how much better it is compared to anything else. That's why you normally see my teams built around Mountain Crusher and or Leprechaun. They're just insanely good for mana accumulation, and they outclass almost every other method. Especially on teams that use 6 mana. Because explosions are a little bit less viable than converters if you're not using every mana. I guess we're technically not using red on this team, but we're quick killing so much that it doesn't actually matter. There also isn't really a double convert that would work too well. I guess you have Forest Troll into Apothecary. That wouldn't be too bad. The only problem is, I don't know, we'd have to get rid of Hero if we want to fix that, because we'd still have to have that other double combo. Yeah, Leprechaun gains gold too. So even if Leprechaun wasn't the most meta mana accumulator in the game, he might even still be used just for the sake he gives gold. It's not a lot of gold, but it adds up if you do it literally every battle. Even just one cast is like 50 gold with all your other bonuses that you get. Because you have to keep in mind any of your base gold bonuses off of Dragon Armor or Death Knight Armor or whatever else you might have on does increase the amount of gold that you get there. So even though that says 31, we're actually getting more than 31 at the end of the battle. We're getting 31 times whatever our gold multiplier is. So I believe it's around 165%. So that would end up being what? Like basically what I said, around 50 gold or so is how much that would increase to approximately. The easiest way to show that would be to go to probably a normal PvP battle against someone. So let me go to global real quick and find literally anyone. So I'm going to just fight this person. Hopefully they have no immune to poison, so we can just use this team. I think that has no immune to poison. I'm just going to hope and just use this. A little bit weird using this as a PvP instance, but it does work assuming they don't have immune. I don't think they do. Sister Superior doesn't have Impervious, does she? I don't think so. And he's using Archer or something right now. Good. I don't have a poison yet, though. But you'll see in this battle, that says 40 gold, but we're actually going to get more than 40 gold for this, as you'll see in a second. Which is the main thing I just wanted to show real quick. But yeah, even though that says 94 gold, we're going to be getting like 160 gold for this battle or something. As you'll see right here. If it'll ever load. So that says 94 right now. But the end of the battle will not say 94. If it'll ever load. I've still been getting that weird message occasionally. Only on this PC though. When I do it on my mobile device, I haven't gotten a single time. Although I haven't been playing on my other PC now. Oh, never mind. I didn't do the error. It was just loading a bit. Oh, wait. We did get 90. What? Does it not apply your bonus in... Okay. Well, that proved me wrong only because it doesn't seem to apply your base bonus when you fight someone in that fashion. Because it restricts a lot of the rewards you got. You might have noticed we also got 4 souls, but it didn't give us those 4 souls. That's mostly because those battles restrict your bonuses. However, in a normal battle like this, it does increase your gold by whatever your multiplier is, your base multiplier. Like off of dragon armor and all that stuff. It's just hard to tell because that number is weird. But it does actually happen on that screen. I can 100% guarantee you that. This is not a good way to show it, I guess. I used to always think that they applied to the other screen too. Apparently not. Yeah, whenever you fight someone in like specifically on their profile, you don't get most of the loot. And the reason for that is to prevent people from farming off of people's battles, or off of people's defense teams, because obviously they could deliberately just set something ultra weak, and then you could just quick kill it within seconds, and then rinse and repeat. But they made it that way so you deliberately couldn't farm resources off it. I'll take that down. Get a leprechaun. When will our brown reds match our green yellow? I'm not sure if it ever will, because I won't be token grinding as much once we finally have 3 Nishas. I still will be, but by the time we get to that point and get our hero classes leveled a bit more, we might not even need to do that. Like, there might be something else in the game that we might need to focus on grinding. Or even if it's not a grind, just focus on in general. Like, who knows, maybe they'll revamp PvP by then, and PvP will actually be extremely viable to do again. Or maybe they'll finally do the treasure hunt in arena update, and that update might make it finally viable to go do those again. Or some kind of new content, and then that new content becomes viable to go do. Like, imagine if they made, like, an overworld, because they're going to start running out of room in the underworld soon. I believe in version 5.0, which is currently planned approximately, it was supposed to be early next year, though now it seemed to be pushed to summer next year. And because they pushed it to summer next year, that probably means it's coming fall next year. But sometime next year, we're probably getting a 5.0 patch. And that 5.0 patch is probably bringing in the next underworld. And by that, I basically mean a new area that kind of has a new game mode that might be somewhat like Delves, but it's going to be like the new kingdom system. Kind of like how the Delves in Underworld is currently the current new kingdom system. Because as many of you know, any of you who've been playing for about 1.5 years or longer, we used to get a new kingdom every like 2 to 3 months. However, they don't do that anymore. Instead, we just get a new faction literally every month, which are basically like mini new kingdoms. They're not exactly the same as what new kingdoms were like, but they don't do new kingdoms anymore. And eventually, they're not going to be doing new factions anymore once, of course, we have one for every single kingdom in the game. Though we're still a ways from that, but I believe 5.0 is like future-proofing it by adding another one soon. Like the next Underworld after Underworld. Yeah, we don't know what it's called. I just keep calling it the Overworld. But we don't know what it's going to be called. or what it's going to be gameplay-wise or anything like that. We don't even know if it is going to be in 5.0. It seems like something that will be, but it has yet to be confirmed 100% if it will. Also, hello Earthbound! Hello Dizin, welcome, welcome. And hello any of the hellos I may have forgotten. Like Jamie, hello Jamie. So I hope all of you have been having a good Thanksgiving too. What do you guys eat? Or then again, it's Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure. Kind of already know. Because I ate pretty much just like the normal turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, broccoli, mashed potatoes, what was the thing called? Yams, those orange things. Yeah, yams. Or sweet potato. No, sweet potato is the right name. But aren't they the same thing? Wait, is sweet potato and yams the same thing? No, they're slightly different. Wait, what's the difference between sweet potato and yam now? Hold up. Wait. Yeah, now I'm confused. What is the difference between a sweet potato and a yam? I guess a sweet potato is sweeter? Like, aren't they very similar? I'm not sure how I just realized that now. I need to go Google that now. Wait. Hold up. It's gonna bother me now. What is the difference between a sweet potato and a yam? I've always considered them so similar. Sweet potato versus yam. Let's see. Oh no, they still seem pretty similar to me. But yeah, it was definitely sweet potatoes though. Not yams. I always consider them more similar than that though. I don't know. Anyways. Up, that's I don't want to play. I was just opening up a thing. Let's see. I still had some of my previous tabs open. I normally close out all that, but to Google search, I had to bring it all back up. Random video I was watching before the stream. Let's see. We'll go through that down. Get a Scorpius. And what else? What else? Grab a explosion on everything. Hello, Zeddicus! Happy Thanksgiving! Hope everything has been going well. I am still so stuffed from earlier. I might just take a nap after I finish this stream. No, if I take a nap now, I'm just going to be heading to sleep, which is probably a bad time to nap. But yeah, if any of you have game suggestions for sales on any platform, well, I should say on Switch or any PC-related platform, let me know. Because we might be picking up some stuff to mess around with here and there. But I still have so many games I want to be playing right now. I still want to go finish through Puzzle Quest, the HD remake. I still want to go stream Ring Fit Adventure to the channel, just because it's a pretty funny game. It's a pretty funny exercising game. And actually, I haven't been using it much lately. Ever since Pokemon came out, it like sucked up all my spare time in that regard, as far as like stray games that I play on my off time. But I pretty much completed through Pokemon now, other than for a few like really small things. So now we can start focusing on other games again. I'm still gonna still play Pokemon here or there. It's not as much as I have been in the last 2 weeks, obviously. Harpy Thanksgiving, haha. Is Famine a decent craft? No. In the current state of the game, I would not go out of my way to go craft a Famine. And there's two reasons for this. One is he's only particularly viable for Guild Wars, and I haven't even used him for Guild Wars for ages. And the other reason is because he's not currently associated to any kingdom, meaning he's not required to upgrade any kingdom. And even the really useless mythics are at least viable for upgrading a kingdom. So the fact that he cannot be used in any way, shape, or form to upgrade a kingdom makes him quite a bit less valuable, even if he was somewhat viable. For example, something like a Suna might be a useless mythic that you might never use. However, you need it to you currently have to have it until they add a second mythic in order to craft, or in order to get 10-star plus for Bright Forest. And there's instances like that where the mythic might be useless, but it actually gives you value, oddly enough. Because I believe that kingdom's like a 1 extra HP bonus, so having hers essentially 1 whole extra HP, assuming you can 10+ star the kingdom. Whereas having a Famine doesn't do anything for Kingdom Stars currently. There is rumor that they might be adding... oh, what's it called? They might be adding Apocalypse troops to the Kingdom of Sin and Mirage. However, they have yet to do that. And if they were to do that, that would add 5 troops, all mythics, to Sin and Mirage. And the reason they might consider doing that is because Sin and Mirage was the last kingdom they ever upgraded. It was the one when they ended up releasing Delves. And when they ended up doing that, because it's so old, or so new, I mean, it has the least amount of troops of any kingdom. And the easiest way for them to just instantly fix that would be to, of course, give the 5 Apocalypse troops to Sin and Mirage, which would help even it out as far as how many troops the kingdom has relative to the other kingdoms. However, it would make it the first kingdom to have more than 2 mythics if they were to do that. Because currently every single kingdom has 1 or 2 mythics. But then that kingdom would have 4, or sorry, 5, once they do that. Or sorry, 6, because the kingdom already has 1. So yeah, there would be 6 mythics for Sin and Mirage if they were to do that. Which would be a lot of mythics in one kingdom. Which would also technically make Sin and Mirage the hardest kingdom in the game to get stars on if they were to do that. Due to the fact it has 6 mythics. Though that hasn't been confirmed yet if they are going to do that. They were mentioned of that. I think they even mentioned it themselves that they were planning on possibly doing that. But they never confirmed if they will. Yeah, both of Groshnok troops are completely useless. You only ever need 1 of them for the sake of upgrading the kingdom. But as troops, both of them are 100% useless and not used for any other purpose. Craft Suna or wait for a week, maybe get a Tina or Ketra? I'd probably wait. Suna you would never actually use. You'd have to have a lot of mythics if you're bothering to get mythics just for the point of upgrading the kingdom. Because that means you'd have to have nearly every viable, or literally every viable mythic prior to ever doing that. Because most mythics do apply a kingdom bonus in some way. Good majority of them will. And you can easily spread them out in a way that will. Like, for example, the kingdoms that have 2 mythics, you just get the one that's better. If you have the choice of crafting specifically. I'm trying to think of a kingdom that is set up like that. But, obviously, if you were going to go for one, you'd go for the one that's just better. Use that as the kingdom upgrade, and then don't get the second one. And then simply go get another kingdom's mythic that seems useful. That is useful for a kingdom upgrade. Just keep rotating through those. And then, after the fact, start getting the ones that don't actually matter. Like the Apocalypse troops currently, or the second mythics for kingdoms that already have a mythic and stuff like that. Also, I'm pretty sure it's used up already. But there's the code from earlier if you guys haven't used it yet. I'm pretty sure it's already used, but just in case it's not. That was the really special code, too. We might have another one of those this weekend, just for Black Friday, possibly. I'm actually out of codes, but I still have the secret codes. The super ultra mega ones. Because Salty hasn't given me more codes. And we need some for holidays, so I'm just giving out those. Not supposed to give out that many of them, but it is the holiday. Probably won't have another one after this Friday until Christmas as far as those super codes, though. I'll take the yellow for now. Grab the purple. Oh, come on. Why didn't it surge? We took 2 things in a row and neither surged. We have like a 67% surge chance or something. We just went twice without a surge. Yeah, the cycle for Mythics is starting to get pretty long. It's almost 3 months per cycle. It's like 2.5, 3 months. And we're getting another Mythic, of course, on, oh gosh, what's the first Friday of next week? The 6th. We're getting another Friday on the 6th. I mean, we're getting another Mythic on the 6th, which, of course, is the first Friday of December. Hello, Drock! Happy Thanksgiving! Oh, it's definitely used up. Oh, that's unfortunate. But as soon as this stream ends, I'm probably going to go right back to leftovers. I'm stuffed, but it's so good. It's always best while it's fresh, even though I'll probably be eating leftovers all weekends. Also, my mom's still playing Sims. I find it kind of funny. I think I mentioned it earlier too. Yeah, I definitely did. But I ended up setting up earlier today Sims and everything for her. The Sims 4. Also, it's super cheap right now, only $5. I might get it and stream it to the channel. I'm considering it. It seems slightly tempting. Oh, it's Anisha. 4 more to go. We're so close. Next one gives us another badge, which doesn't really mean much. But, yeah, 4 more. And then we have the one that actually does mean something. The Medal of Nisha. He's getting another badge of Nisha. It doesn't actually do anything for us. Basically, it's the exact same as tokens, just converted to another useless resource we can't use yet. But once we get that Nisha, that's going to be nice. But yeah, we still need 4 more, though, unfortunately. Unless that was a 2, in which case we only needed 1 more. But no, we need 4. We still need 1 whole more Nisha badge, and then we need to get the other 3. Yep, 4 more to go. Slowly we'll get there. 1 Nisha at a time. Oh, yeah, my day has been great so far. Grab a... Oh, what do we want here? Take a brown thing over. Get herself the double kill there. Go for another explosion. Go for another mountain. And just kill it out. Oh. The misclicks. And dead. Oh, what do we grab here? We'll take an explosion everywhere. And then go for our mountain. Happy Thanksgiving, Chill. Welcome. Luck is what will mess us up. Devs look at his stream and said when better nerf epic tasks. Let's see. Get resource too easily. Well, technically, oh no. I still feel like they need to tweak it more than they are. Because it still seems like it's not going to be tweaked enough when it actually gets released. But I kind of see their reasoning behind it in a way. Because I was just mentioning earlier this stream, and we added up our amount of mythics we can craft right now with our resources. And assuming we get around the drop rate, we currently have enough resources to craft 27 mythics between keys and diamonds. And that's a lot of excess resources. But the only big issue, though, is it's going to make it harder for the average player. Because we're obviously above average, just due to how much we play. Which just has naturally given us more resources. And the fact we've been playing for 5 years, which also, again, this gave us a way more resources than the average player. But since we're at that slightly above average amount of resources, I feel like those people will be fine. Like the people in like the end game. Not late game, but like the end game where they have more of anything that they ever need. And they finally like finalize that point. But the biggest issue here is they almost seem to be bouncing around those end game players, like myself, rather than and like a few really gigantic guilds, and rather than like the overall consensus this time around, which is weird because most think they bounce around like mid game. Yeah, this time they seem to be doing it at the end of the end when they're bouncing those tasks out. Because those new tasks won't affect newer players as much. The people it'll affect the most is late game players. The people that don't currently have as much resources as us, who are currently on the trajectory to get as many resources as us, but are still at the point where you might have like less than 10,000 gems or even under 5,000 or possibly even reaching 0 at times. Like those kind of people are the people that's going to affect the most. Like level 1,300s that have like 0 gems and very minimal resource reserves, but are still have like a decent amount of content, like almost every trip in the game and stuff like that. Like those are the kind of people that next patch will probably affect the most. Oh yeah, we have more than over 9,000 hours played. We have over We have over 11,296 hours played. And that's just on this version, just specifically on PC. That's not counting any of the other, that's not counting any of the other, words. That's not counting any of the other accounts that we've played, of which we've made like over a dozen. And that's also not counting any of the other platforms we played, including Switch, as well as, technically mobile now. However, I have like 5 hours in mobile. Haven't been playing it much. I just got a phone the other day, so. However time I have been playing, it's mostly just been like a match or two. Actually, I've mostly been using it for two things. Taking tribute and doing pets. That's it. I don't think I've been doing anything else on it. Also, it is kind of interesting playing on it. I got a little stick thingy in order to click with it better. I might get a better one. I just found this in when I went to Walmart earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, I have a phone now. I should probably go get one of them. But it's just one of those like touchscreen clicking things. I got a 3-pack just because one of them I use for my Switch now. I haven't actually tried it on the Switch, but I figured why not. And the other one I just gave to my mom since she obviously has a phone too. Could use it for that. Because I feel like I would need it just to have more precise clicks, and it's been working out decently. I feel like it doesn't click down as well. It could be either because of my screen protector or something, I'm not sure. But it doesn't seem like it clicks that well. So I might need to try finding a better pen if I am going to like commit to an actual like pen thing for clicking on phone. Yeah, stylus, that's the name of it. I just call it pen thing. That's the word. How much did I eat today? Too much. Yeah, I'm still hungry. Like, I feel bloated but hungry simultaneously, which is a weird combination. Hello, Goober! Welcome. Get all of our splodies. Get our mountain going, and right into another Scorpius. Yeah, this was a really relaxing Thanksgiving for me this time around. Still not sure what I'm going to be doing for the next holidays, though. Still haven't set that in stone what I'm doing for Christmas or Christmas or New Year's. I might be traveling for both. I'm still not 100% certain yet, though. This team is slightly broken. What, the one I'm using right now? Yes. In the current state of the game, this team is very broken for Urskea Explorers. Main reason for this is Urskea Explorer has 0 immune to poisons. There are more immune to poison in this game than any other immunity, so it's not that overpowered in things like PvP and stuff like that. However, in any battle where you can consistently not have to deal with poison, it is excessively strong. And Urskea is currently the last remaining kingdom in the game that does not have any immune to poison. And for that reason, it is extremely quick, as you can see. Like 30 seconds per battle approximately. Even quicker if we brought out the controller, because I can get rid of some of the input lag. Or not really input lag, but misclicking lag, I guess I should say. Because of course with mouse you have to specifically click over. Also, I do find that it's actually quicker to play on the phone than it is on PC. Mostly because it's quicker to click the cast button, since you can just go and either use a finger forward or stylus very quickly. Like, I'm so used to mouse that I don't normally misclick it. However, it is still substantially higher chance to misclick with mouse only than it is to do it with like a stylus or your finger. Just because the hitbox for the cast button is so big on the phone relative to the rest of the screen. Oh, he's got a lot of metal upgrade right there. Got a Yasmin medal and a Cedric medal, though it's always quickest using controller. Controller plus mouse is the quickest way to play this game. Actually, technically, controller plus touchscreen would be the quickest way to play this game. However, the only way you could ever do that is on phone if you can get a controller hooked up to it, a one-handed controller, and which is going to be really hard because I'm not sure if Joy-Cons actually work on a phone. Not 100% certain on that. Might need to try. I'm not even sure how I would hook up a one-handed wireless controller to a phone. I guess it would have Bluetooth connectivity to it. I'm not sure if it would function correctly, though. But that would technically be the quickest way to play. Though it's probably not realistic for most people. A one-handed controller plus touchscreen is the quickest way to play Gems of War if you're looking for 100% maximum efficiency. The next quickest is mouse plus controller, one-handed controller. But right now we're just using mouse only. And keyboard, of course. But keyboard doesn't have any Kaki capability other than escape. I asked them to add it a while back, but they never did, which is unfortunate. You can use escape to bring up the menu and a few other things within the game. However, you are not allowed to use hotkeys anywhere, which is kind of weird, despite the fact that you can use controllers for hotkeys. We're turning into a Steam Pup Pet Guild. Nice. Did we just get a whole army of them since everyone got it off the sale? Do you think that console players are slightly treated unfairly? Yes. It's why I don't play on Switch. It was really obvious after like a month or two. I kind of knew that in the past too. I just didn't realize it was that bad. But yes, if you don't play on PC mobile, you almost don't exist to them. That's not 100% true, but that's like in practice. Like obviously they do care about console, but in practice they basically don't. Like PC mobile is the only version that technically exists in a way. In what sense? Well, they don't really end up supporting it as much as far as bug fixes and testing for it and actually communicating with the community there, whereas they do a lot for PC mobile. And in the case of the Switch, it is literally a year behind, and consoles were for the longest of time. For about 2 years, consoles were also several months behind, similar to how Switch is now. They eventually got that point fixed, but it took them a very, very, very long time before they ever did that. And currently, they're not even doing anything on the Switch version to expedite that process. Whereas on consoles, they at least did that to some degree, but they haven't even tried with Switch yet, which is weird. But no, the console versions has always had less support than the PC mobile throughout the history of the game. Oh, we'll throw that down for now. It's not that they don't care about consoles, obviously. They do care about console. It's just they don't do as much to really help it. Oh, I do grab here. Take the explosion. And then double kill dead. Oh, I hate that summon so much. So the only bad thing about this kingdom is it does actually have one summon option. The Baba Yaga. Does PC mobile cost money? If so, then it is more fair because console version is free. No, PC mobile is 100% free, just like any other version. So how's that not dead yet? There we go. PC mobile is also the only cross-platform of any of the platforms. It's on like 6 different platforms or something. Like there's a really high number. Like pretty much anything you can be on, it's on Gems of War. But the only ones that are cross-platform is PC mobile. And whatever that one Amazon thing is called. Oh, to grab. We'll grab a Scorpiuser. Go for another mountain. And he's dead. Get our other explosion there. Grab herself a mountain. Oh, what do we take? Oh yeah, that's something that you just reminded me as well. I need to go get some stuff to hook my phone up so I can actually stream off the phone. Or not stream off the phone, but stream games off the phone. I'm meaning to get something for that ever since I got it. Still haven't ordered it off Amazon yet. There's just so many things coming in through Amazon over the next week or two. They're gonna wonder why there's so many packages. Well, I guess because it's the holiday, it'd be pretty obvious. What do we grab? Get a Scorpius. Go for the other poke. And mount into the final kill. So this will probably be the final chest that we take right now. So if anyone else does any other questions, let me know. Yeah, console has a much different approval process, particularly the Switch version compared to like Steam. Like Steam probably has the easiest approval process of any of the platforms that the game is launched on. It's normally every other platform that slows down the process. If it was only on Steam, which it would never be, but if it was, in theory, only on Steam, they could do updates so ridiculously easily. It's one of the reasons why the beta is only ever tested on Steam as well. They never do console testing for the beta. They never do mobile testing for the beta. They did once when they were releasing like something really big change to mobile, but never have they since for like the standard public betas. I'm pretty sure internally they might test it to some degree, but as far as with the community, they only ever test it on PC, not even PC mobile, just specifically PC on Steam. No, they're not on PS Vita. Let's see, they're on some kind of Amazon thing. They're on Android, they're on OS, they're on or Apple, or Apple is that thing. They're on Switch, they're on PS4, they're on Xbox One, they're on Steam, and they are probably coming over to what's it called? The two new consoles, PS5 and Scarlet. And they were mentioning that they might be going on to Stadia. Though given how bad Stadia is, they might be reconsidering that. Because Stadia has flopped so hard. I actually do want to try Stadia once it becomes free. Because I feel like the YouTube integration aspect on it, particularly for free-to-play games, is going to be really good. So if like Gems of War is on there with free-to-play, and other games that are free-to-play that have Stadia connectivity with YouTube, I feel like that would be a pretty cool concept. However, it seems like at this point it's going to die in like 2 or 3 years, like almost everything Google ever does. I always wonder why why YouTube is so bad. And then I kind of forget that almost every product they have ever released has failed. Which is pretty funny, given that they're like a multi-billion-dollar company. Yet Google and YouTube carries them so hard. Because they were able to do those pretty much right, for the most part, kind of. Not really. And in regard to YouTube, not so much. But at least Google, they kind of did right. Your internet connection will fry your PC with Stadia. I do have a pretty good connection now. Like, really, really good. Well, I have a good up, not good down, though. My up is, like, 400. My down is only 20, though. Because for whatever reason, my service providers that I have here have really low down. But, yeah, my up reaches anywhere from 300 to 500 range. It's supposed to be up to 500, but it's normally, in effect, closer to 300, 350. Though there are multiple devices running off of it, which might be why. We'll go for that. Get our mountain. Yeah, playing Stadia would only require down, not up. Streaming requires up. This is one of the reasons why I had to get a better service. Because my service provider has really bad upload speeds. And, yeah, I can only get up to, like, 20 at max with even the best option they have. But their down is pretty high, though. Like, 300, 400 definitely isn't slow. Do I have any hobbies outside of Gems of War? Well, gaming in general would probably be one of the bigger ones. You don't think it meshes well with the good Copa rules? Well, that's still not set in stone yet. I don't think it's set in stone until, what, December 10th, was it? I actually forget. Does anyone recall the date? But, I don't know. I can't really make any judgment on it until it's, like, 100% legally set in stone what on earth they're doing with it. Because any time prior to that, it is subject to change. Oh, this will be the last set. I said that like 3 sets ago. We'll do this as the last set, I guess. What do we grab here? Let's get that for now. Grab our other blue. And it was Scorpius twice. And already down. Actually, if we get a good Cascade here, we already got his mana. Nope, no good Cascade. Actually, we didn't even get enough to get all of our browns. That's unfortunate. Okay, I'll take that for now. I'll have. Oh, never mind. What am I doing? I'm like trying to get another mana accumulator up, but we already have the kill. Don't even need it. Got another kill there. Go for another mountain. And then we just go clear out everything. But I should pick up some more hobbies again, or pick up old hobbies I used to have. I used to write a lot. Like a lot. Like a couple thousand words a day. Haven't been for like years now though. Should get back into the habit of it. What's a really good word processor that doesn't cost money? Because I actually don't have Microsoft Word on this laptop. That, or if I do, I have like a trial version of it since it's such a new laptop. What even is the best free typing program these days? That isn't Microsoft. I still have Windows, or I still have Microsoft 2010 on my other computer. But at this point, that's basically a decade old. Let's see what to grab here. Get him out of the mountain. I really need to go invest in a good keyboard, I think. I always get rather cheap keyboards. Just because I don't really feel like I need anything better. But I don't know, if I'm going to start typing a bunch again, might be nice to have one that's a bit more responsive. And I generally don't like using laptop keyboards unless I'm specifically traveling with it. Because I've had a good track history of it breaking down after like a couple years or even a year. And given that I normally like to use them for at least 5+ years, if not longer. Like this one I'm planning on hopefully keeping for a decade. The one that we most recently got. Open Office and WordPad. WordPad. I've heard of it. I forget exactly what it is though. I used to use Google Docs for school for a couple projects because of its share feature thing, which is quite convenient. Okay. So, What do we have here? Can we get a second Nisha? You know you want to. Nope, nothing good. 1 Cedric, 2 guards. Rip. Nothing good. But anyways, guys, I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful, Oh, you get annoyed whenever you see a Stadia ad. Yeah, the Stadia ads are almost inaccurate from what I hear people saying. Because most of the games on it don't even have 4K 60 FPS. So they're basically like false advertising it. I feel like Stadia could have potential once it becomes free and has YouTube integration, and in a couple years once the technology is better. But there's already services out there that are already competing with Stadia that, other than the fact that they won't have YouTube integration, seem like they might be better products. But Stadia does seem like pretty much a flop. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Thanksgiving weekend if you're still going to be spending time with family, and eat up all the rest of the leftovers. But anyways, guys, I'll be catching you guys later. We'll be back tomorrow, probably around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or so in the morning, and we'll be messing around with a new hero class, as we are, of course, getting a new hero class tomorrow morning. And I'll be running through all of this weekend if you want to go and grind that. I will, however, not be doing the... we'll be grinding it, but we will not be doing the class event itself because I'm not going to be using any gems on it in order to conserve gems for things like level 2,500 pure factions, or, you know, getting them to max. So we'll be focusing on that for the most part, just getting the thing here leveled up and probably doing some token grinding while doing so. Maybe revamping our team so our hero doesn't die as easily because he won't have any kind of barrier on Brown or anything like that. But yeah, we'll go from there, see how things go, and hope you all have a wonderful rest of your holiday. And find any other good deals. Let's see, where do you even get it? Where do you even get what? I'm not sure what you mean by where do you even get it. Are you referring to Stadia? Stadia is currently, I believe you have to buy the Founders Pack to even get it. Like, there's currently no free version of it. You have to buy, like, an overpriced $130 pack that gives you, like, a thing that you plug into your computer, a controller, and that's, like, basically it, and, like, a few other cords that kind of make it work. But, yeah, I think you can the only way you can get it is by buying, like, an overpriced pack for it. It is supposedly going to be free sometime next year, though. And you'd be able to access it through there, through things like Chrome and stuff like that. And at that point, once it has YouTube integration and all that, I feel like it could be okay, but in its current state, it seems like a complete waste of money. Especially since you have to buy each game outright. Like, once there's, like, good free-to-play games on there, if they're even going to get free-to-play games on there, I feel like it could have some potential with YouTube integration and stuff like that. But until then, it seems like a complete flop at the moment. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you all later. Thank you also for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, and with your family, friends, and or yourself. You're just going to be doing that. And I hope you all have a wonderful time. Catch you later, and we'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 13 hours from now, and we'll be going and have a new hero class to mess around with, go over, and all that. Though it's pretty much just going to be a Warlord hero class, so not too much to go over, but we'll still cover a video on it, of course. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful time. Thanks for stopping by. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and goodbye, everyone.